Okay. Om Jnantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So you've been very fortunate. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can, Prabhuji. Yeah, we can hear you properly.
So you all have been very fortunate to be studying Srimad Bhagavatam, which Sanatana Goswami considers to be the best friend, the best associate, and the best means to overcome the effects of Kali Yuga, this age of quarrel and hypocrisy. And you've been studying the third canto, I'm told, and you're currently on the 19th chapter. Are we now going to go through the 19th chapter? Is that right?
That's correct, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So what I've been asked to do is talk you through the 19th chapter. However, the Srimad Bhagavatam is a continuation of narratives. And actually, it has not just one narrative, but there are narratives within narratives. So it's a very beautiful, collage of different narratives. So to be able to understand the 19th chapter, we need to just dwell onto a few things in the 18th chapter, if that's okay. And then we will get to the 19th chapter. Just in terms of continuity, it will make more sense. Is that fine, Dharmendra Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Baba?
So we saw that in the 18th chapter, Mother Earth was submerged in the causal ocean, and Varahadev appears in the form of a boar, form of a pig or a boar. Actually, there's a difference between a pig and a boar. So he appears as a wild boar with tusks, as you can see, and he lifts the earth to its correct position. Now, the earth that we are talking about is not the earth that we live on, but the earth that is referred to in Srimad Bhagavatam is Bhumandala, which is a planosphere. So it's like a disk. Anyway, this is not the topic for now. As you go into the 5th canto, things will become clear. So as he is taking the earth to its position, on its way he meets this demon called Hiranyaksha. Now, Hiranyaksha is a son of Kashyapa. He's son of a rishi. However, he himself is a demon. And he stops Varahadev. And then he starts insulting Varahadev. So, by the way, we have a very small group of devotees. So, I would like to, make it a little bit interactive. At least when I ask a question, if somebody has an answer, then please feel free to respond. So we see what happens in the 18th chapter. The Lord and Varahadev, Lord Varahadev and Hiranyaksha, they are having, Between each other, they're having a war of words to begin with. And it's taunting each other. Now the Lord was angry at Hiranyaksha because Hiranyaksha was insulting him. But at the same time, the Lord is said to be laughing at Hiranyaksha because what appeared to be the words of insult actually turned out to be the words of praise. We find this sentence, Jahasa chaho vanagocharo mriga. Jahasa, Hiranyaksha started laughing loudly. He laughed. Hasa means to laugh. Cha, and he started to laugh, looking at the form of Varahadev as a boar, and he said, "Aho, vanagocharo mriga." Aho means, oh, what am I seeing? I thought it must be some powerful personality trying to rescue the earth. But look at this. Vanagochara. Vana means forest, and Gochara means one who dwells. One who dwells in the forest. Mriga means animal. What am I seeing here for rescuing earth is a forest dwelling animal. He's laughing. Hiranyaksha is laughing. He's laughing at the Lord. The Lord is hearing Hiranyaksha's words and he's becoming angry because of the insult. But he's also laughing because he thinks it's a praise. So here is my question to you all. See, Srimad Bhagavatam, the nature of Bhagavatam is mentioned in the first canto, third chapter, verse number 40. The nature of Bhagavatam is Idam Bhagavatam Nama, this scripture named Bhagavatam, Puranam Brahma Samhitam. This Purana, this literature, Brahma Samhitam, is actually sum and substance of Brahma. Here, Brahma means Vedas. It is sum and substance of Vedas. Uttama Shloka Charitam. In this Bhagavatam, every single shloka is Uttama, is best. Every verse and every word in this Bhagavatam is perfect. Another meaning, Uttama Shloka means one who is glorified with the best of verses, that is Lord Krishna, Charitam. His pastimes are mentioned in this book. Chakara Bhagavan Rishi. And who composed it? Bhagavan Badrayana Rishi. Vyasdev himself composed it. So perfect author. Nishreyasaya Lokasya. Why was it composed? Nishreyasaya. For the benefit, Lokasya, of the people in general. So the purpose is perfect. The composer is perfect. The words used are perfect. The subject matter is perfect. Dhanyam, all auspicious. Swastiayanam Mahat. This, therefore, is the all auspicious literature. So here is my question. How can there be abuses to the Lord in the all auspicious scripture? How can you have words like this, which are put in Bhagavatam? Hiranyaksha is saying, Aho, vanagocharo mriga. Oh, forest dwelling animal. He's calling Lord Varadev as a forest dwelling beast. Mriga means beast. So our acharyas have done a lot of, they've given us a lot of debt. We are indebted to them because they have illuminated these verses for us. Of course, time is very short and this is not the purpose here. But let me tell you, what is the meaning here of, for example, Jahasa chaho vanagocharo mriga. Vanagochara mriga when Hiranyaksha is calling Varadev, Vanagochara means one who is a forest dweller, and Mruga means one who is a beast or an animal. What is Hiranyaksha is saying these words? What is Varadev hearing? He hears the words Vana Gochara. Vana, actually, there is a thesaurus of Sanskrit language called Amar Kosha. Amar Kosha has 27 synonyms for water. Salilam, Paya, Jeevanam, Kabandham, Pushkaram, Arnaha, Neeram, Sambharam, Va, Kamalam, Kilalam, Bhuvanam, Mudakam, Sarvato Mukham, Toya, Kshiram, Mega Pushpam, Vari, Jalam, Amritam, Vanam. Can you see Vanam? Vana is another synonym for water in Sanskrit. So when Vana is said, yeah, of course, Vana also means forest, but Vana, the way Varahadev is listening to those words of Hiranyaksha, Vana means water, and Gochara means dweller, or one whose abode is in the water. Can you tell me whose abode is in the water? Who is lying down on the water of the Milky Ocean?
Lord Vishnu.
Yes.
Krishna.
So by calling Hiranyaksha calling Varahadev Vanagochara, Varahadev is thinking, oh, he's glorifying me as Narayan. He's glorifying me as Narayan who is lying down the abode of water. But what about Mriga? Mriga means animal. Mriga also means, actually the words in Sanskrit are very beautiful. So you see there is a word called mortal in English. This word mortal comes from, there's so many, mortuary, mortal. This word mortal comes from Sanskrit root mru. Mru means mortal or to die, from which you have words like maranam, etc. And then you have an English word called go, means to go. It comes from gam or it comes from ga in Sanskrit. So mru and ga means one who is marching or who is going towards death. That is mruga, literally. That's literal meaning. So animals are those who are marching towards death. But mruga very specifically is also addressed to the deer because the musk deer or a deer in the desert, both of these deers, they look at the mirage and they run towards the mirage thinking that it is water until the deer goes so far into the desert and dies. So the meaning of mruga also, there's a root in Sanskrit called mrig. And the root mrig in Sanskrit means to search. So when Hiranyaksha is calling the Lord, Vanagocharo mriga, the Lord is thinking, he's calling me Vanagochara, one who lives in the waters of, one who lives on the waters of the Milky Ocean, Narayan. And mriga means one who is really searched by the four Vedas and by the great saints. They're always searching for the Lord. Where is the Lord? Where is the Lord? How can I attain the Lord? So this is just an example of Vanagocharo mriga. So this way they are conversing with each other. And the Lord replies to him, a fitting reply. You see, when somebody instigates one person, the other person will respond in equal amount. So the Lord replies with equal force and says, Satyam vayambho vanagochara mruga. Satyam, it's true. Vayam, we are. He's talking about himself, but he uses plural. He's using the royal, like when a king or a queen speaks about themselves, they say, we. They don't say I. So this is the royal I as we here. So the Lord is establishing himself as not an ordinary person, as an ordinary boar. So he's saying, Satyam Vayam, we, Bo, oh, it's true that we are Vanagochara Mruga. We are, a forest dwelling animal. Or in other words, that we are being searched out by the sages and we are dwellers of the Milky Ocean. So the Lord is speaking in plural, but he is speaking in sort of the royal plural. Okay. And then he says, but who are you, Hiranyaksha? Who are you? He says, Yushmad Vidhan. I have been going around here. Well, rescuing Earth is one thing, but my real business is Yushmad Vidhan. I'm looking for Mrugaye, means to search. See, we just saw that. Mruga means to search, I told you, right? In this slide, to search. So here we find that the Lord is telling Hiranyakashipu, actually, I didn't come here to uplift the earth. I'm looking for Grama Simhan. I'm looking for your kind of Grama Simha. Grama, this is a taunt. Simha means a lion. Grama, in Hindi and other languages also you have Ga and Gam in Gujarati. Grama means village. So Grama Simha means one who is a lion of the village. Can anyone tell me who is the lion in the village? Everyone is scared of that lion. Village lion. In fact, he says plural. There are many village lions. Okay, no answer. Okay. So Grama Simha in Sanskrit is referred to a dog. A dog in the village is barking and he's thinking, oh, look, everyone is afraid of me, scared of me. And somebody just stands up and shows the stick and says, hut! And the dog runs away. So, in reply to the words of Hiranyaksha, the Lord says, actually, you are right. I am Vanagochara Mruga. And what am I doing here? Yushmad Vidan Mrugaye. I'm looking for your kind of Grama Simha. I'm looking for your kind of dogs. So we can see how beautiful insults and counter insults are exchanged between the Lord and Hiranyaksha. And then a very spirited fight ensues. Many blows are given to each other, and Varahadev fights with his mace. And just like two bulls are fighting, when two bulls fight. I remember when I was only around 9 years old, my father would take me to many places of pilgrimage. This particular instance, he took me to a place in Rajasthan, which is called Nathadwara, where there is beautiful Gopalji, Srinathji deities. So we went for darshan, and after the darshan, we went for a nearby Goshala. And in the Goshala, we were feeding the cows, and suddenly there was a huge commotion, and then people started running here and there. And we saw that the employees of the Goshala quickly ran out to stop two bulls who had gone out of control, and they had jumped out of their shelters and they were fighting head on. So see, another reason Bhagavatam says that they were fighting like bulls is because nobody can intervene when two bulls are fighting. One has to go down. So these two, the Lord and Hiranyaksha, were fighting with such a spirit. One has to go down. There is no one in the universe that can now stop this fight. So proper bullfight they were having. This is mentioned in Bhagavatam. Then, of course, what we did when I was when I was there in that Goshala, me and all the other people, they climbed on a raised platform and quite far away from the two bulls that were fighting. And we were all crowded there and having free entertainment and also anticipating which bull will win. Yeah. Me and my cousins, we were betting on which one will win. So similarly, Brahma and all the demigods, see, they were witnessing this fight and they were going, wow, this is so amazing. And then Brahma looked at the time and he realized that now is the Abhijit Muhurt. What is this Abhijit Muhurt? You will see in Bhagavatam all kinds of sciences and all kinds of history, geography, everything is there. You'll find everything. So the time from sunrise to sunset is divided into 15 quarters. And they are roughly 48 minutes, but not necessarily. If the day is short, then it'll be less than 48. If the day is long, like in the summers, that may be even more than 48 minutes. So that is one muhurt. 15 divisions in the day, 15 divisions of night. So 12 hours roughly are divided into 15, that's 48 minutes in the day. 12 hours divided by 15 in the night is 48 minutes in the night. These are called as muhurtas. Now the muhurta in the middle of the day, midday, is considered to be Abhijit Muhurta, the most auspicious Muhurta time. You see, we nowadays don't do this, but in the ancient world, right things happened to be done by the right people at the right time and in the presence of right individuals with the right ingredients and at the right time. Right place, right time, right ingredients, right people. And the right person would do it. So these things have to be right. So right things have to be done at the right time. So Brahma thought, now the time is right. Abhijit means literally to conquer, to be victorious. So Brahma thought, midday, Abhijit Muhurta. This is the right time to kill this Hiranyaksha. So he started prompting to the Lord, please, the time is right. Go ahead, finish him, finish him. So it is the middle of the day. It is the 8th Muhurta. From the beginning of the day, it's the 8th Muhurta. So it is roughly midday. Roughly it is always midday. And this is a very important, even we see that Lord Shiva, when he killed Tripurasura, it was midday. It was Abhijit Muhurta. This Muhurta is very, very auspicious. So Brahma, who is the creator, he knows what is right and what is wrong. So he knows the right time. So he said, okay, this is the time. Time is right for killing this demon. Actually, very interesting. All the demons that Krishna also killed, he killed according to the right time for killing. Anyway, this is topic for another time. But the Lord was instigated now, come on, kill him. This Muhurta is only going to last for another few minutes. Time is running, finish it. So the Lord pulled him and started to, you can see Brahma over here. Indra, Varuna, Agni, Soma, all these demigods are there, observing the fight from afar. And as these two individuals are fighting, the Lord and his devotee, Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha is his devotee in one sense. Because he's, Jaya and Vijay came as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. You will find out in later cantos. So when the Lord is fighting, he pulls him. You can see the Lord's hand pulling Hiranyaksha. And then they are having a very, very strong, sort of high-spirited fight. And then comes chapter 19, the continuation of that fight. First of all, it begins by saying that the Lord accepted the prayers of Brahma. Brahma started praying, my Lord, come on, please. You are the most You're the most powerful. You are the controller of everything in this universe. And you ought to be victorious. The time is right. Please do the needful. The Lord acknowledged and accepted his prayer, but just to spice things up, his mace, the Lord's mace, slipped from his hand. Immediately, Brahma and all the demigods, they were thinking, oh my God, we are going to miss the boat now. The time is going to pass, and we will be in a difficult situation. Maybe the Lord will have to fight again another time, now that he doesn't have the mace. The demon, Hiranyaksha, as if he was fighting a dharma yuddha, war which is bound by some laws, lawful war. You see, in the olden times, India was attacked so many times by so many foreign invaders. At least in the initial days, when the armies, the Persian armies and the Mughal armies they attacked India from the western side of India, what is now Afghanistan and Pakistan, that area, the western, northwest frontier areas. A lot of resistance. They met with a lot of resistance. However, they realized that actually these kings, they have some ethics, the codes of war. And the codes of war were: we won't fight after sunset. We will not kill someone who does not have a weapon. It has to be, both people have to be on equal footing. All these moral codes of war were there. So what these initial conquerors did, they always attacked in the dead of the night when everyone was sleeping. So we see that even Hiranyaksha, a great demon, was still abiding by some moral codes of war or fight. So he said, oh, Varaha, oh, boar, your weapon has dropped from your hand. Please pick it up. He gave opportunity to the Lord to pick up the weapon. The Lord picked up the weapon and he immediately struck Hiranyaksha's mace. Hiranyaksha wasn't ready, actually. He didn't realize that it will come that quick. And as a result, his mace fell down. Yeah. So he picked up a trident. And then he started, you can see this mace. The mace of Hiranyaksha has fallen down. And then the Lord actually said, well, why don't you pick up your weapon? Hiranyaksha said, no, I don't want to, I don't want to belittle myself. People will laugh at me if they think I need a weapon to fight with a pig, to fight with a boar. So I won't pick up my weapon. So he doesn't pick up the weapon. He leaves it there. And the Lord continues to fight, but instead, he, through some mantras, he creates a trident and he throws the trident at the Lord. Immediately, the Sudarshan Chakra, you can see here on the left, the Sudarshan Chakra has gone off and it breaks the trident, cuts the trident. So all of this is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam 19th chapter that you read. And after that, Hiranyaksha is struck by the Lord with his bare hands. So now he uses his bare hands, and you can see how the Lord is kicking Hiranyaksha. Please remember this kick. He's kicking Hiranyaksha. He kicks Hiranyaksha, and Hiranyaksha in response attacks the Lord with his bare hands, and you can see he's right, his attack is right at the chest of the Lord. By the way, if you're wondering where are these paintings from, they are from a manuscript, 17th century Srimad Bhagavatam manuscript, which is in possession of the Chicago Museum. This manuscript has the entire pastime in painting. So beautiful. Almost 350, 400 years ago. So Hiranyaksha now uses other options because he realizes that this is no ordinary pig. even after attacking his chest, this boar, this pig, has not, I mean, I'm using these words interchangeably, but a pig is not a boar, and a boar is not a pig. But in fact, the English word boar, B-O-A-R, comes from Sanskrit word Varaha. Sanskrit word Varaha and Baraha is the same. Va and Ba are interchangeable sometimes. And so Varaha became boar in English. So he's attacking the boar, but nothing happens. And Hiranyaksha wonders, why is this boar not dying? Why is he so extraordinary? At that time, he thinks, I need to create some illusion and trap him in the illusion. So he creates illusions with wind, stone, hair, pus, blood, stool, urine, bones, pellets, and some demonesses. And the Lord, you can see here, he uses his chakra to dispel all the illusions. So all the illusions that we have in our heart are dispelled by the weapons of the Lord. When we take Harina, when we chant the holy names, we seek shelter of the Lord uses his weapons and gets rid of all the filthy possessions that we have from lifetimes after lifetimes. So we can see here all of the different things that Hiranyaksha was creating was being dispelled by the Lord. And then the Lord said, okay, your time is up. We have to act now. Abhijit Muhurat is finishing, as Brahma had asked him to pay attention to this Abhijit Muhurta. And the Lord says, okay, it's about to finish. So after fighting with him so long, the way he kills him is very interesting. Just one chop, one blow to his neck. Karena, with his hand, Varahadev, Karna Mule, at the bottom of the ear, on the neck, Ahan, he attacks. He gives one, it is called, in karate, it is called a knife chop. So you can imagine even the karate moves are here. Lord slaps him under the root of his ear with his left hand, and he hits the jugular vein. And if those who are from a scientific background, if you hit the jugular vein here, then there's a possibility that there will be a clot. And if that clot stops the blood from flowing to your brain, then finish, your brain dead and you're dead eventually. So this is a very important area that needs to be, looked after. So this area. So the Lord actually, it says in Bhagavatam, Karena Karnamule Ahan. With his hand, he gave a karate chop. It's called a knife chop to Hiranyaksha with his left hand, as you can see here. And after that, he gave him one other kick, a karate kick. And Hiranyaksha dropped dead. Now, why did the Lord not cut him into pieces? Because, it will make the whole water filthy. All the waters will become filthy with the blood of Hiranyaksha. So he just did a nice, simple karate chop, jugular vein, and killed Hiranyaksha. Varahadev Bhagwan ki jai. So having done this, of course, the Devatas were very, very happy. They started praising. They not only praised the Lord, but they also praised Hiranyaksha. You might wonder, why did they praise Hiranyaksha? Tasya daitya rishaba padahato. Tasya esha daitya rishabaha. This best of demons, padahataha, has been kicked by your lotus feet. And not only has he kicked by your lotus feet, Mukham prapashyams tanumutsusarjaha. Tanum, the body, the demon, he left his body. Utsasarja means to leave. He left his body mukham prapashyam by gazing at your lotus face. Oh, you've given so much mercy to this demon. Hiranyaksha. Great sages meditate for millions of years and thousands of lifetimes to get the dust of your lotus feet, and you directly hit, you kicked, your forefoot actually directly touched Hiranyaksha. Not only that, people, antakale chamameva, people actually strive throughout their lives and several lifetimes to remember you at the time of death, our Lord. And they have to endeavor to remember. When Kapha, Vata and Pitta is choking their throats, as King Kulashekar says, Kapha, Vata, Pitta, Kantavarodhana vidhau, Smaranam kutaste. How will I remember you when I'm choking at the time of death? In case of this Hiranyaksha, you were so merciful, you personally stood there in front of him. And looking at your lotus face, Mukham prapashyan tanumutsasarjaha, he left his body. So the demigods, they glorify Varahadev for being so kind and merciful. Then the Lord returned to his own abode. So at the end of the chapter, it is said, this quality of the Lord to be especially merciful is unparalleled. In fact, all his pastimes bring us closer to him, because they make us understand and appreciate the wonderful qualities of the Lord. Anyesham punya shlokanam uddama yashasam satam. Satam means devotees. Uddama yashasam, devotees whose glories are unlimited. Anyesham, other devotees whose glories are unlimited. Punya shlokanam, of those great souls. You know, if we hear their pastimes, the pastimes of Dhruva, Prahlad, and all the other personalities who were great devotees, Amrish Maharaj, etc. By hearing their pastimes, we feel so satisfied. Bhavet modaha. Bhavet means one becomes modaha. Moda means very satisfied, very happy from within. Upashrutya, by hearing it according to parampara. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada emphasizes that one has to hear these episodes of Bhagavatam, one has to study the scriptures from one who is in parampara and one who himself or herself is relishing. Then you will automatically relish. So, upashrutya bhaved modaha. If one relishes in that parampara through the right person who himself relishes Bhagavatam, then we can all relish. So what to speak of just the pastimes of the devotees of the Lord? You speak the pastime of Shri Vatsankasya, of the Lord on whose chest there is Shri Vatsa, Kim Punaha. What to speak of that? Suta Goswami is telling Shaunakadi Rishi, please always immerse yourself in such beautiful, merciful pastimes of the Lord as the pastime of Lord Varahadev. And Varahadev, of course, is praised by all the demigods. And then at the end, Sutta gives the Phalashruti. Phalashruti means what is the ultimate fruit or phala that one can experience. Now, one should bear in mind this word Phalashruti is very interesting. Phala means fruit. Can we expect to sow a seed of a mango tree in a garden? Well, I mean, it won't work in the UK, but imagine you have a land in a tropical, in a tropical country, maybe in India. You have a land and you are in the right sort of atmosphere. But if you sow a seed of a mango tree, the best of mangoes, Alfonso mango, you sow a seed. Do you think you can just, the day you have sown the seed, the next moment or the next hour, the next day, you will be able to pluck ripe mangoes from the tree and taste them? No. Phala means a fruit will only become fructified, will only be available in time. So when one reads the scripture and reads the Phala Shruti, one should not exhibit some sort of disbelief or perceive it to be arthapatti, which means exaggeration. These are not exaggerations. If scripture says anyone who reads the pastimes of Varahadev killing Hiranyaksha can be freed from even the sin of killing a Brahmana, which is considered to be a grave sin, killing a Brahmana, killing a woman, killing a cow, killing a child. These are very, very grave sins. So if you can be redeemed by hearing to these pastimes, one might think, oh, well, this is an exaggeration. Or like here it is said, Etan Maha Punyam Malam. By hearing this pastime, one generates Maha Punyam, unlimited good fortune. Alam, enough good fortune. You don't need more. Just like if I invite you for dinner to my house and I ask you, what would you like? You say, okay, I love idli sambar. Let's say you love South Indian. And I feed you idli sambar 5, 8, 10, 12. You eat very, very happily. Beyond a certain point, you will be like, okay, enough. I've had my quota, I can't have any more. Similarly, here it says, the Phalashruti, the fruit of meditating, hearing and meditating the pastime of Varahadev, killing of Hiranyaksha, is that one will generate unlimited good fortune, enough good fortune. Pavitram, one will purify one's existence. Dhanyam, one will become glorious, not in the mundane sense, but will become auspicious. Yashasyam Padam, one will attain a very glorious position. Ayur Ashisham, one will attain a very healthy and healthy and long life. Now one might think, oh, well, this is very material, isn't it? It is and it isn't. Depends what you do with it. Depends what you do with long life. Is knife a good thing or a bad thing? Well, depends what you use it for. You use it to cut an apple, which you then offer to Krishna. The knife is a brilliant thing. You use the same knife for, attacking someone. It's not such a great thing. In fact, it is quite the opposite. So long life, healthy life is a blessing for a devotee. Pranendriyanam yudhishaurya vardhanam. One's valor, one's ability to exert one's self in terms of prana, which is the life breath. Indriya means the senses. If you are able to, shaurya means valorous. If you are able to control your breath and your senses, then you can engage them fully in Krishna consciousness. And then what happens? The Phalashruti says, Narayanonte gatiranga shranvatam. Suta Goswami is telling Shaunaka and the rishis, 88,000 of them who are gathered there, Anga, oh darling, oh dear, oh Shaunaka, shranvatam, please listen again and again to these pastimes, because not only will you get these 6 outcomes, you will also get the 7th, which is Narayana Ante Gatihi. Gatihi means final destination. Ante means at the end. Anta in Sanskrit comes is the English word end, E-N-D, end, finished, end, comes from ant in Sanskrit, which means end. Narayana Ante Gatihi. You will ultimately go to Narayan. Such is the great Phalashruti of this particular chapter. I'll take 2-3 more minutes and then open up for questions, comments, corrections. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, a little bit of a reflection. Hiranyaksha signifies Hiranya and Aksha. Hiranya means gold. Aksha means eyes. One is always eyeing on gold. You see, all our lives, we are chanting, we are doing service, we are trying to satisfy our families, friends, our seniors, our parents. But in doing all of that, on a very personal level, we are not stopping our individual greed. We want more, 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 and more. And this greed has a very natural effect of claiming ownership. Greed is fed by the sense of ownership. So Hiranyaksha, he thought this earth is not anyone else's possession. This is my possession. I have the right to enjoy earth. And of course, when there is a sense of greed and a sense of ownership, it naturally means we hate competition. So when he saw Varahadev lifting the earth, the immediate thought in Hiranyaksha's mind was, who is this? Who is this boar? Who is this animal? He's competition. He's claiming what is mine. He's competition. He needs to be eliminated. This greed is the cause of our being in this world, in this samsara, in this miserable situation. And the other one is kama, lust. So not only we possess things for the sake of possessing them, we first possess them, and if we can't have them, we try hard to possess them. We claim ownership, we want no competition, and then we enjoy. Kama means lust, and Hiranya Kashipu. Hiranya again means gold. It also means the best. Gold and Kashipu has many meanings in Sanskrit. 4 primary meanings is pillow, bed, food, and clothing. And the acharyas explain, pillow signifies sleep. So we want to just sleep, relax, have some chill out time. Bed signifies enjoying with the opposite sex. Food signifies having the best of food. And clothing, dressing up, being presentable. So these things are a natural consequence of one who has lusted for, and we're not talking of bodily lust, we're talking of lust in terms of lusting for more possession that we can enjoy. And what is a person with lust, extremely high degree of lust, an extreme high desire to enjoy? What does that person always think? He or she thinks, I shall never die. So we see Hiranyaksha could not tolerate Varadev. He saw him as competition. He could tolerate no competition. And Hiranyakashipu, you will meet him in the 7th canto. Hiranyakashipu cannot tolerate the idea of death because he wants to enjoy forever. So he is asking Brahma for boons that makes him invincible. No death. Now, either unfulfilled lust or greed or any impediments that come in our lives to fulfill our lust or our greeds gives rise to krodha, which is anger. So these go together. Where there is anger, you must know that there is a hidden lust and hidden greed. Of course, the exception is transcendental anger. This is another topic for a different time. We don't have time for that. But anger, lust, and greed are the 3 gates to hell. Krishna says to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, Trividham narkasyedam. Trividham narkasyedam. Narkasya idam. These 3, Trividham. 3 types of gates are there. Dwaram means the English word door, D-O-O-R, comes from dwar in Sanskrit, which means the door. So dwaram, nashanam, atmanaha. Nashanam, atmanaha nashanam. Atmanaha means of the soul. Nashanam means destroyer of the soul. These 3 gates, they destroy the soul. Now you might tell me, Prabhu, I thought soul is never destroyable. How could you destroy the soul? Here the sense of destruction is not the sense of absolute destruction, but it is the sense of degradation. The soul degrades from human form of accepting the human form of body to a lower animalistic or a demoniac species. That is the degradation of the soul. And if you read Prabhupada's translation to this verse, he says degradation of the soul. So, what are the 3 gates? Kamaha. We heard Kamaha. Then Krodha. We found that Krodha is very well connected to Kama, and Tathalobha and greed. Now, some acharyas have commented that Krodha is in between. It sits in between because it is connected to both Kama and Lobha. Lobha also creates, when Lobha, greed, is not satisfied, anger must arrive. And when lust is not satisfied, anger must arrive. So anger is in between. Tasmad etatrayam tyajet. Krishna's instruction to Arjuna. Tasmad. Therefore, etatrayam, these 3, tyajet. Tyajet is instruction. One must give up. Tyajet means one must give up these 3. Finally, I'll say that there is the Falashruti also says that who will not want to hear such katha, because this katha can even liberate one from sin of Brahma Hatya. Please bear in mind, it is Falashruti. The fruits will come. They may not come tonight, may not come tomorrow or this month, next year, all throughout this life. But the fruits will come. The fruits of immersing oneself in the katha and the kirtan of the Lord under the shelter of spiritual master, and by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, the fruits will fructify in time. Thank you very much, and we pray that Srila Prabhupada pulls us by the shikha, like he's doing to this devotee, and pulls us up so that we can always remain grateful to what he's given us, and we can follow his instructions, keeping them to our heart. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jay,
Samveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
thank you very much for the wonderful class. It was just amazing. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. And we wish you would come back many more times. If anyone wishes to ask a question, would you kindly raise your virtual hands or just unmute if you want to do that now? If I can just quickly start off. Earlier on in the class, you were saying that it's not Earth as we know it. So what was that planet then that was lifted up? If you could elaborate a bit more on that, if that's okay, Prabhu.
Yeah, so if I elaborate on that, there is the 5th canto of Bhagavatam. We would have to be here for another 60 hours. That's the elaboration. Essentially, it is Jambudvip. It is the Jambudvip. Actually, not even Jambudvip, it's Bhumandala. Bhumandala is the entire universal spatial, I mean SPATIAL, spatial existence, where all the universes are included. Yeah. So when you study the 5th canto, you will you will understand what this Bhumandala plane is. A Bhumandala plane is not the planet Earth that we live on.
Okay, thank you very much, Prabhu. Does anyone else wish to ask any questions? Please raise your hand. Vijay Krishna Prabhu, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, Dharmendra Prabhu, thank you very much. You're most kind. Kartik Prabhu, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. You're most kind. Most of your class was related to, at least you mentioned, I could see on the screen the name Hiranyakashipu, the father of Prahlad Maharaj. And maybe this question is off topic, but because I do believe that you have the exact answer, I dare to ask. It's about the chanting of our 16 rounds, of our prescribed number of rounds given to us by our initiating spiritual master. Yes, this prescribed number of rounds for us to chant while being old. And I'm asking like this because Prahlad Maharaj, I think he was teaching, instructing his schoolmates. There's a part in the 7th canto where we find, and you know this better than me, we find Prahlad Maharaj instructing his schoolmates about not thinking that we could spend our whole lives by making use of sense gratification, and then during old age we could go for the spiritual practices. But Prahlad Maharaj teaches them that no, old age is not the proper time for you to practice spiritual life, because old age characteristically is the stage of life where you cannot practice because the body is already old and non-operational. So related to the prescribed number of rounds for a devotee who is already 60, 70 years old, and I am already 62, and I am already beginning to feel how difficult to maintain the chanting of my 16 rounds is becoming. When I was young and healthy, because of being young, then it was like a thrill chanting my 16 rounds on a daily basis. But now that I am already 62, what I feel is that it's becoming more and more difficult. Is it that in old age we can like stop observing the vows we promise to observe to our Guru Maharaj in our initiation ceremony, because the body is already old and defective and not able to function even in relation to the spiritual practices that we should observe in order to maintain our vows. And I insist on saying that Prahlad Maharaj, as the acharya that he was, he says that old age is not feasible. It is not the proper time for us to practice spiritual practices because characteristically old age will not allow you to do it.
Yeah. Vijay Krishna Prabhu, I understood your question. Thank you very much for asking this question. You're right that Prahlad Maharaj, he inspires us in the 7th canto, 6th chapter, verse number 767. He says, Mudhasya balye kaishore kridato yati vimsatihi jaraya grasta dehasya yati akalpasya vimshatihi. The last words are very interesting. Jaraya grasta dehasya. Jaraya means in old age. Grasta dehasya, when the body is very, very, very incapable. I think Prabhupada uses the word invalid. Yati akalpasya vimshatihi. The last 20 years of life, they just pass away very wastefully. And in fact, this is why one is advised not to waste any time at all and perform one's prescribed sadhana with such intensity, tivrena bhakti yogena, with such intensity that there comes a time when one does not endeavor anymore to perform devotional activities. I almost say that the goal of practice is to attain a platform where there is no practice, where there is perfection. So the goal of sadhana is to become siddha. Siddha means to become perfect. Sadhana means to practice. So the goal of practice is no practice, in the sense, no practice doesn't mean we don't practice, but the practice isn't with effort. It is effortless. Just like when somebody learns how to drive a car or a vehicle, initially they are very, very conscious and it's practice. But soon there arises a time when it is part of them. They can talk to the passenger next to them, and they can, even probably have some quick bite while they are driving, and they are still fine. They could never imagine doing that when they were learning how to drive. So we need to put all efforts that we can within the bodily capacity that we have to endeavor to attain that state. Now, on a very practical level, if there are certain vows which are not fundamental vows, so what are the fundamental vows? The 4 regulative principles and chanting of 16 rounds. These we should abide by under all circumstances. although I've said under all circumstances, of course, if one is, let's say, in coma, then, we cannot say, well, you could be in coma, but you must still chant your 16 rounds. There is no fanaticism there, but the idea is that we are not willingly, knowingly trying to become lax, because the goal is just the opposite. The goal is to intensify. The goal is to saturate our existence with Krishna, to Krishnaize our consciousness, to become Krishna conscious as we become older. Yes, it becomes difficult when we are old, but being difficult is not an excuse to not do it or to voluntarily drop our commitments and our spiritual resolutions. This is my understanding based on my study of the Shastras and the previous Acharyas. I could be wrong, so please consult with some senior devotees who are more aware of your personal situation, and they would be best placed to guide you. I'm only giving a very general answer based on my limited understanding of what one must do. So thank you, Vijay Krishna Prabhu.
You're most welcome, Kartik Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And I'm really, really happy to see you on this Bhagavatam Sangha at this age. I think you are doing wonderful, and Krishna will not leave your side. That's his commitment. Whether we are committed or not, and sometimes we are lax and we leave our commitment, the Lord will not leave us. We've seen that time and time again. The Lord never left any one of his devotees, whether it is Gajendra, whether it is Draupadi, whether it is any, Amrish Maharaj. The Lord never, ever left his devotees. There's a beautiful word used in the Bhagavatam for the Lord. He is called as Anugraha Katara. Anugraha means to give grace, to give one's grace. And Katara means one who is conditioned. Just like I am conditioned to eat nice sweets. This is my conditioning. I may be conditioned in so many other things, and so many of us may be conditioned in so many other things. The Lord is also conditioned. But his conditioning is, he's conditioned to melt his heart for his devotees and shower his grace. So be rest assured, when the moment arises that you have to leave for a better destination, the Lord will personally look after you, as long as your intention has been very clean and committed, and you've performed all your sadhana to the best of your ability. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Kartik Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Meena Halai, you have your hand raised. And
Hare Krishna, Kartik Prabhu. My question to you was, Hiranyakasipu had been given a boon by Lord Brahma. What did he do to receive that boon? What was the reason behind that?
Well, he did tapasya, standing on one foot with hands raised, until there was a anthill that actually clamored around him. He was his body was actually eaten up, and he was literally only bones. There was no flesh left, and still he was able to hold his life breath inside his body. That's the intensity with which he did the tapasya for a very singular goal, which is to have immortality. And those beautiful descriptions. Again, you will read this in the 7th canto. So it's coming. It's coming. You can anticipate. there's a way to go. You'll meet Hiranyakashipu in the 7th canto. Actually, you'll meet him even before that a few times, but not in details. But in the 7th canto, you'll meet him face to face. You'll understand his mindset, his likings, his dislikes, his envy. In fact, the very fact that Varahadev has now killed Hiranyaksha, we will see that Hiranyakashipu's another singular motivation will be to kill Vishnu. So that's Hiranyakashipu. All right, thank you, and I wish you all the best for that wonderful journey from
Thank
now
you.
to the 7th canto and beyond.
Thank you very much, Kartik Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Sumadhura Radhika Mataji and then Divya Gaurangi Mataji. I think we'll stop after that because I have another commitment. Sumadhura Radhika Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much to you and Dharmendra Prabhu for this beautiful class. My question was that I couldn't understand why for a demon it was important for them to worry about Muhurat.
For the demon, well, for
That's right. When Hiranyakashipu was killed by Varahadev, why was it necessary for Lord Brahma to remind him, hurry up, it's a good Muhurat, because
Yeah.
demons. So what was the reason for that, please?
Yeah. Well, you do the right thing at the right time, and the times have all been selected by the Lord Himself.
So
Actually,
even for a demon,
sorry?
even for a demon, Lord was merciful towards him to use the right moment.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. That's part and parcel of His grace.
Okay.
Imagine somebody dies at a very bad hour. I mean, do we not say, oh, that was somebody dying in a war, suddenly being killed.
Yeah.
We always feel so sorry. We think, oh, he should have died with more dignity.
Yeah.
And, so the Lord is Himself created different times based on, actually, think about this. Think deeply. Time. What is time? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Kalosmi, I am time. I am the all-devouring time myself. So the Lord Himself is time, and time is there are various elements of time. Broadly speaking, there is tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic times. Abhijit Muhurta is considered to be the most auspicious time, and the Lord wanted to give that to Hiranyaksha. Complete grace. You see, when we give something to someone, Sumadhura Radhika Mataji, we give with a closed fist. We give, but we don't give completely. When the Lord gives, He gives completely. He does not hold back. And that's why He's the Lord.
Okay. Excellent.
Divya Gaurangi Mataji, last comment, correction,
Thank you very
question.
much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Dandat Pranam, Kartik Chandra Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for wonderful class. Prabhuji, I have a doubt that the Varahadev appearance in this pastimes is, if I'm not wrong, please correct me. There are two Varahadev. One is Shweta Varaha of the Swayambhu Manvantara, who comes from Brahma's nostril, and other is Nila Varaha, who comes in Chakshusha Manvantara. And what I learned is that Shweta Varaha, Varahadev, because all the devtas pray along with Brahma, and then he comes from nostril and he saves earth from Garbhodaka ocean. And Nila Varaha saves the earth and then kills Hiranyaksha. So my doubt was that because there is this overlap in this pastime, it is coming one after the other. My confusion I wanted to know is, does Shweta Varaha just come to lift the earth from Garbhodaka ocean and that's it? That's the pastime. And in Nila Varaha, does the same thing happen? that the earth drowns, and do the devtas then go and pray that save, and then Vishnu comes as Varahadev, and then he kills Hiranyaksha. So I wanted to know that first Varaha, the pastime ends there only. He just comes to lift the earth.
Yes, that's a very technical question you asked. Yeah. So for those who don't perhaps understand the question, I think to simplify it, different days of Brahma. You see, we have 30 days, 30 days. Well, you might say, oh no, well, Prabhu, that's not true. There's 29 in February, there's 31 in December. Well, let's just round it up, 30 days. So Brahma also has 30 days. But a day of Brahma is called one kalpa. One day of Brahma is called as one kalpa, Kalpa in English. If you write it, it's kalpa. And that one day of Brahma is, every day is a different set of pastimes, different set of deities, or different sets of avatars. They are appearing in each of those days. The very first day of Brahma is called as the Brahma Kalpa. It is also called as the Varaha Kalpa because that's where Varaha appears. Second day is called Neelalohita, third day is Vamadeva, fourth day is called Gathantara, fifth day is called Raurava, sixth is called Prana, seventh is Brihat Kalpa, where the Kalpa seems to be never ending. Eighth is called Kandarpa, where everything is very beautiful and very attractive, and it is even from an attractiveness with the opposite gender, everyone is attracted to each other in that Kalpa that day. So next is Sadyotha, the ninth day, where everything is very calm. 10th Kalpa is called Ishana, where many incarnations of the Lord appear multiple times. 11th day is called Dhyana, where the rishis almost rule the entire Kalpa. 12th is called Saraswata, where learning is favored. 13th day is called Udana. 14th day is called Garuda. 15th day is called Kaurma, which is actually the full moon Purnima day for Brahma. 16th day is called Narasimha. 17th day is called Samadhi. 18th day is called Agneya. 19th day is called Vishnuja. 20th day of Brahma is called Saura. 21st is called Somakalpa. 22nd is called Bhavana. 23rd is called Supuma. 24th is called Vaikuntha Kalpa. 25th is Archisha. 26th is Vali. 27th is Vairaja. 28th is Gauri. And 29th is Maheshwara Kalpa, where Shiva destroys Tripurasura during Abhijit Murta. And 30th Kalpa is called Pitra Kalpa, but it is also called as Padma Kalpa. And this Brahma Kalpa, the first day of Brahma, is when Shweta Varaha appears. Padma Kalpa is the day when the planets form a lotus shape. That's why it is called Padma Kalpa. This is the last day of the 50th year of Brahma, when half-life of Brahma is finished. And then in the 51st year, during the Varaha Kalpa, Lord Varahadev appears as Neela Varaha, and he attacks Hiranyaksha. So the first pastime of submerging of the earth, there is no Hiranyaksha in that first day, Brahma Kalpa. But in the Varaha Kalpa, that pastime does happen. So this is how the different days of Brahma are categorized. Actually, the Brahma Kalpa is also Varaha Kalpa, is the same name. Brahma Kalpa is also called Varaha Kalpa, but that is Varaha Kalpa Brahmakalpa is the very first day of Brahma. And then every day, the very first day meaning the day Brahma is born, that. So when Brahma came out from the lotus, right? From the lotus he came out.
Yeah.
That day that he came out is the first day of his very existence. Like a baby is born, his day one, her day one. When a baby is born, her day one, that is the day, that is Brahmakalpa. That day Shvetavaraha comes and stabilizes the earth, but there is no killing of Hiranyaksha. Then every month, the first day is called Varaha Kalpa. And every day of the every first day of the month, yeah, that day again Varaha Dev appears, and he does not kill Hiranyaksha on the 51st year, when Brahma is now 51 years old. In that 51st year, the first month, like we call it January. So similarly, the first month of Brahma, his first day on the 51st year, is when Varahadev appears as Neela Varaha and kills Hiranyaksha. So in that sense, there are different Varahas appearing. And there are innumerable Varahadevs, not just these two. Because the Kalpas, they keep repeating. And all of these personalities keep repeating. Innumerable Ram Avtaras, innumerable Krishna Avtaras. The only difference being these Krishna Avtaras are Vishnus. The Krishna that appears on the 51st day of Brahma's life, that Krishna Avatar is Krishnastu Bhagavana Swayam. This will be discussed in the 10th canto, when you get to the 10th canto. Hopefully I answered your question.
Yes, Prabhuji, I got a good understanding. Thank you so much. Yes, so I understand that the first one, Varahadev comes, just lifts the earth, and second one kills Hiranyaksha. And as you explained, thank you so much, all the kalpas and names, and there is so much to know and understand. As you said, there are so many Varahadev, not just these two, and so many pastimes of the Lord. I guess that's why Lord Anantashesh is for eternity glorifying, but he's never repeated the glories and it's never finished. So thank you so much for giving.
Why does he come in every? Why does he come in every kalpa, in every manvantara, in every yuga? For a very simple reason. He wants to give opportunity to every single living entity in every single day of Brahma, in every single manvantara, in every single yuga. He wants to give opportunity to the living entities to go back to him.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, and I seek your blessings so I can take some opportunity and purify. Thank you for the Hari Katha. Hare Krishna.
You already blessed. You all are already blessed. So thank you for blessing me by allowing me to come here in this August assembly.